Welcome back, everyone, to the Zebec Gazette, brought to you by the Zebec Global Podcast, the only show where payroll streams, stablecoins flex, and the crypto charts behave like they've had 6 cups of coffee. And I'm Zebec Lantern 589, your trusted source for Zebec news, questionable enthusiasm, and the occasional financially irresponsible laugh.
The Zebec Gazette, it's the Zebec Gazette. You heard what I said, it's the Zebec Gazette, it's the Zebec Gazette, it's the Zebec Gazette. You heard what I said, it's the Zebec Gazette. You heard what I said, it's the Zebec Gazette.
This is your weekly pulse check on Zebec Network, covering the biggest headlines from June 15th to June 21st. All right, I need to open my eyes a little more. Happy Father's Day. As you can see, we're here without Crypto Matt. He's celebrating Father's Day. Let's get right into it. Boom, boom, boom. June 15th, Stellar posted first, actually. So today, Zebec launches enterprise payroll on Stellar. Employees and contractors can receive funds instantly into wallets, spend through Zebec's MasterCard-powered cards, and convert digital dollars into local currency, all on Stellar. Boom. Then Zebec Network posted a couple hours after Stellar, so let's watch this video really quickly. Now you can see what I was talking about. Sorry, my laptop sucks, so we're going to do this without a background. Now you can see the post that I was reading, so now let's watch this video from June 15th. Boom, that enterprise payroll app looks super sexy. Then on June 16th, real-time payroll powered by USDC, proud to be building alongside Circle. So we actually highlighted this last time in the last episode. Now I actually want to get into some of my bookmarks. This was a sick post from 314. Thank you, bro. While everyone panics in bear markets and uncertainty, that's exactly where the greatest wealth is built, ZBCN. VHS, DVDs, streaming created trillion-dollar empires. Don't miss out, do your own research, and DCA. I'm definitely DCAing daily. Not financial advice, of course. Now look at this. This is pretty badass. Thank you, bro, for posting this. I actually missed talking about this last week, but I guess I can put it in the YouTube video right now. Zebec is rolling out virtual IBANs, one main bank account plus a unique virtual IBAN for each employee, client, or country. Money sent to any IBAN flows automatically into the master account with perfect tracking. This makes fiat on-ramps easy, reconciliation instant, and real-time blockchain payroll seamless. Boom. Now let's watch the video.
Another very exciting feature that we're looking at adding this year on the roadmap is virtual IBANs. So we'll be able to create virtual bank accounts that sit within the super app, meaning you'll be able to move money seamlessly from your stablecoin balances, your payroll, into an IBAN, and then you can use that to make payments in, let's say, the fiat world.
Okay, so for our audience, explain an IBank. Is this a traditional ABA number, which is the banking association number that correlates wire routing and all that kind of stuff? Would it work the same way?
Exactly. So an IBAN is the international version of what Americans know as a bank account with an ABA and a routing number.
Yep.
They're fully virtual. They support multiple currencies. So you'll have an IBAN for your euros, you'll have an IBAN for your US dollars, for your pounds, and then you'll be able to go between a pound stablecoin and your pound IBAN and your euro stablecoin and your euro IBAN.
Wow.
And the reason that this is so powerful is that it completely replaces a banking app. It completely replaces an app like Revolut, right?
Mm.
And it's built on stablecoins before anything else. Then another
Boom. Thank you, bro. And this was actually in the article Stellar posted. Thank you for posting. Several European institutions and multinational employers are already in final testing stages on Zebec's Stellar payroll rails. Boom. Evaluating employers' compensation, contractor payouts, and benefits distribution workflows. These pilot deployments create a foundation for broader enterprise adoption across the Stellar ecosystem. Boom. Thank you, bro. June 17th, we're excited to be working with Token GBP, the first UK-based British pound stablecoin. Wow. To bring native GBP payments to Zebec. Issued by FCA-registered BCP Technologies, TGBP is now live on the Zebec Super App for cards and real-time streaming with enterprise payroll support. I forgot to show this bookmark. After many months in the works, we are ready to onboard the next wave of enterprises onto Zebec's stellar payroll. Boom. June 16th, payroll isn't sexy. This is a throwback video from like a year or two ago, but this is awesome. Payroll isn't sexy, but it's the thing that really demonstrates global reach and opportunity. Now Zebec live delivering streaming payroll for enterprises on Stellar. Thank you, Ghost. Let's watch this.
I'll say the other one, like if I could get like an ADP or a payroll service to leverage Stellar. Again, I know that that's not the sexy brand. Sorry, ADP, but I know you're not. Like that isn't like payroll's not sexy, but it is the thing that I think really demonstrates like global reach and opportunity for end users all over. So I think merchants, big name merchants, but also like those payroll providers kind of change everything. I'll say the other one, like if I could
API key versus X402 endpoint. What's the difference? One was built for humans, the other was built for agents. This is the gap most builders are still sleeping on. So we know Zebec is actually plugged into X402's June 19th. Amazon introduces USDC payments for content owners to ensure that AI bots pay for the data they consume. Wow. He's the CEO of Circles. Artificial intelligence bot traffic is growing 300% year over year. Publishers and content owners are forced to either block all bots or allow unrestricted access. Boom. I'm kind of just going to keep going back and forth. This was a 6 space, so I actually have a lot of bookmarks, so we're going to go back and forth in between. We're live tomorrow at 11 a.m. You guys, I hope you guys listen to this space. We're gonna get to the bookmarks. So we'll go back and forth from my bookmarks, and I'm actually gonna have to go backwards because I didn't know this was so high in my bookmarks. Zebec will be bringing on a number of enterprise clients from the World Liberty financial ecosystem to use USD1 on enterprise payroll and much, much more. Boom.
And it's only going to get bigger from here. I mean, from now, we're going to be bringing on a number of enterprise clients from within the World Liberty financial ecosystem to use USD1 on enterprise payroll and much, much more.
Amazing.
We are early. Watch
Absolutely.
this.
And Simon, I guess, having gone through many years and many cycles of DeFi kind of living slightly separately from real world consumer and enterprise products, like this feels like it could be the phase where those two things start to merge, right?
Exactly. I mean, we see it day in, day out with our business. Demand continues to grow from both the employee side and the employer side for stablecoin payroll solutions, right? So we're set to double or triple every year over the next few years. So we're very early in the growth cycle.
Boom. So he expects the US stablecoin payroll volume to double or even triple every year over the next few years. Boom. June 19th, with DTC tokenizing and traditional assets on Stellar and MoneyGram powering global payments, Stellar continues to drive real-world blockchain adoption. Simon explains why Zebec is bringing enterprise payroll to Stellar. Boom.
Stellar has been getting a lot of attention recently. The token has been performing really strongly, actually, at their end. And then there's been real momentum around their whole ecosystem. Why is the Stellar moment important, and how does Zebec fit into that bigger picture?
Well, we're incredibly excited to see Stellar finally announce its partnership now publicly with the DTCC. We, of course, at Zebec, we know the team at DTCC well. We're proud to see its tokenization journey start on the Stellar blockchain. I know they're going to be expanding beyond Stellar from there. But of course, Stellar is also the same chain that we are delivering our first enterprise payroll product on natively outside of Solana. So we're super excited to see Stellar bring on all of these real world offerings such as MoneyGram, such as DTCC, as it really opens it back up further to these solutions as well.
And here's another reminder. He shook the head of the DTCC's hand at CBOS last year. Boom. But thank you, XRP Dunce. The world is moving forward, and Anchorage will custody it. Another Zebec partner, and then here's Stellar. Anchorage Digital now supports custody for tokenized CETES, short-term Mexican Federal Treasury certificates. Ooh. Now let's watch this video from Cryptochrome.
XLM just made another move that most people will completely miss. Today, Zebec officially launched enterprise payroll on Stellar. Not a test, not a pilot, live payroll. That means employees and contractors can receive funds instantly into digital wallets, spend through MasterCard linked cards, or convert digital dollars into local currency, all through infrastructure connected to XLM. But payroll isn't the only thing happening. At the same time, Mexican government debt is now being tokenized on Stellar, and Anchorage, one of the most established institutional crypto custodians in the United States, is providing custody support. Think about what that means. In the same week, XLM added enterprise payroll. XLM added tokenized government debt. XLM added institutional grade custody. 3 separate announcements, one direction. Individually, they seem unrelated. Together, they start looking like pieces of the same puzzle. Payroll is money. Government debt is assets. Custody is trust. Those are 3 of the biggest pillars of the financial system. Simon Babakani recently said Zebec is preparing to onboard the next wave of enterprises onto Stellar payroll. Meanwhile, the Stellar ecosystem continues adding stablecoins, payments, tokenized assets, and real-world financial infrastructure. So the bigger question isn't whether XLM is processing transactions, payroll, assets, stablecoins, settlement. Those pieces are starting to appear in the same ecosystem. And if XLM becomes one of the rails connecting them, the story won't be about crypto anymore. It'll be about financial infrastructure. And by the time most people notice, the rails may already be built.
Now let's go to the other video by Cryptochrome that I wanted to show you guys.
Says your paycheck is still treated like a scheduled event. But what if money could move the moment the work is completed? Every week, millions of people finish their work and then wait. Not because the work isn't done, not because the money doesn't exist, but because payroll still operates on schedules created decades ago. In a recent interview, Zebec Network CEO Simon Babakani explained that the problem isn't the work, it's the payment rails. According to Simon, we completely rebuilt payroll on blockchain rails utilizing smart contracts. That means Zebec isn't trying to improve payday. Zebec is trying to remove payday entirely. Instead of waiting for Friday, Zebec's system allows payments to move when the work happens, not when the calendar says it can. Simon calls this programmable payments, and it's one of the core ideas behind Zebec's vision for real-time finance. The technology isn't changing how people earn money, it's changing how money moves after it's earned. And once people realize payroll doesn't have to be delayed, why were we waiting in the first place?
Oh, thank you, Cryptochrome. Moving on. So here's a video from the World Liberty Financial Space with Zebec Network, and I clipped in. I wanted to show you guys, but here's the market tool.
Through World Liberty.
Goddamn.
We're super excited about this next phase of the integration with World Liberty Finance and Zebec. The World Liberty Finance market tool is an enormous addition to the utility of the super app. Of course, one of our goals is to ensure that funds stay within the system, right? And as usage grows on both the cards and other aspects of the super app, having a native yield platform built into the tool makes it just so much more powerful, right? And it encourages users to on-ramp funds and keep them within the super app rather than moving them out on cards and back to the bank accounts when the yields offered through World Liberty are so much more than you can get through traditional investment options or even just your savings account.
Boom. Thank you, Simon. There's no way you guys needed me to re-explain that for you. So we finished all of the Zebec news for the week technically on their page, but let's go to my bookmarks again. I wanted to show a couple posts in the week. I already highlighted some people, but here's some more. Now, this was a killer graphic from Marco Salzman. Now, look at this. And I've heard 314 talk about robotics, and here's ZBCN connecting through Stripe, Tempo, all the way down to AI agents, HTTP 402, and machines. So this is an awesome graphic. Send this to your friends, please. Here's a cool video from Ghost. Nobody thought about streaming video when the internet started. Just as streaming video revolutionized the web, streaming money will transform finance.
People are talking about tokenization, but once you start tokenizing, how can you reassemble the blocks like Legos to create new products? You talked about streaming video like we are right now. No one thought about that when the internet was started, but people are thinking about, you see a lot of, articles and analysts saying, hey, blockchain could be 30 trillion, in 3 to 5 years. I think you see BlackRock say that as well. But are we underestimating the power of the products that we haven't thought about just yet? People are talking about tokenization, but
Boom. Thank you, Ghost. I wanted to show BSCN News giving props to Stellar and Zebec. Stellar surges after major payroll expansion. Stellar's token climbed 13% over the last 24 hours. This was last week. As Zebec expanded its enterprise payroll services on the network. The platform allows workers and contractors to receive funds instantly through digital wallets. The move strengthens Stellar's growing focus on real-world financial applications. Boom. So June 17th, here's another video from my bookmark. So the agentic economy is bigger than a bot buying the groceries. Jeremy Allaire explains the most useful shift. Let's watch this.
Think, hey, I have an agent. It's going to go buy my thing on, buy my groceries or book me a car or that kind of stuff. And that may well be true. The much more interesting problem, in my view, and a thing that we're very focused on, is that agents become economic actors. Agents as a service becomes a fundamental business model. There was software as a service. Now there's agents as a service, and you're going to see an explosion of entrepreneurs building agents as a service. You're going to see a lot of existing software utility companies recomposing themselves as agents as a service. And agents as a service and the monetization model, effectively, an agent is a worker, and that worker can be highly specialized. And that worker can do incredible work and can sell its services on a consumptive basis. And you need an economic environment to do that. And an economic OS like Arc, the developer platforms we're
Zebec's partner.
Agent Stack, the primitives we're providing to do this safely with guardrails. A lot of times people think.
Boom. Thank you, Jeremy. Now there are some new updates on the Zebec Super app. I was barely able to see this, but Institutional Yield Hub, this showed up on the app right after the USD1 World Liberty Financial Space with Zebec Network. So here's some pictures that I took. Earn yield on USD1 up to 5%. Boom, boom, boom. And then, yeah, now Base you can use for the Super app. That tripped me out. We knew they were partners, but that's insane that we get to see this now. Eleanor Turret posted on June 19th, the day after the space with Zebec and World Liberty Financial. The outreach comes as the conversation on Capitol Hill has shifted away from yield and toward securing an ethics deal. So hopefully they can make a deal soon, but we have no idea what's going to happen. Price before law. Payroll is one of the best Trojan horses for stablecoin adoption. Workers don't need to understand crypto. They just need to get paid fast and spend easy. Zebec is betting on that, and it's applaudable. Boom. June 19th, $1.50 for each transaction on traditional rails, or at $1.13 total for 75,000 transactions on the Stellar network. The math speaks for itself. Wow, let's watch this.
We did 50,000 transactions, and those transactions were costing $1.50 each on the traditional transfer agent system. So $75,000 to do those 50,000 transactions, all of which went to the expense ratio of the fund, versus we did the same 50,000 transactions with you on Stellar for $1.13. Like $75,000 versus $1.13 is a pretty powerful statistic.
Today on Block by Block, I'm joined by Sandy Call, Head of Innovation at Franklin Templeton.
Boom. So here was another update on the Super app. You can actually see the stream frequency, create a new stream for when you're getting paid from your employer when they actually are connected to Zebec. So this is awesome. So refer to that graphic that we saw earlier with Mr. Salzman, MPP. The machine payments protocol enables programmatic per request payments over HTTP. So this includes X402. So my computer is freaking out, so I'm just going to show a couple more posts and then I'm going to log off. Here's a fire post from Captain Zach. Great graphic. Look at this. Thank you, Captain Zach, for this graphic. So this is from the 20th. The Fed has started writing the rulebook for stablecoins. The Federal Reserve, alongside FIN, CEN, OCC, FDIC, and NCUA issued a joint proposal Thursday requiring stablecoin issuers to build bank-style customer identification programs. It's the first major Genius Act rulemaking treating issuers as financial institutions under the Bank Secrecy Act. Boom. 5 Fed members approved the 130-page rule. New chair Kevin Warsh abstained. Federal Register publication set for July 22nd. Boom. And then I also want to just randomly show this. AI startup Midjourney is pivoting to healthcare, unveiling a full-body ultrasound machine it claims surpasses MRI technology. The future looks bright. This is unrelated, but the future looks bright. The XRP ledger just turned on native payments for AI agents. Wow. With its upgrade live, Ripple's XRP ledger now supports X402 payments using XRP and RLUSD, letting AI agents and services settle directly on chain. Sorry guys, my computer keeps fucking up. I would like to show this thing, but I don't know if my computer can handle it right now, so I'm gonna have to end the video. Yeah, I'm just gonna end it. Sorry guys, I'm gonna end the episode. My computer is freaking out. That's it for the Zebec Gazette. If you enjoyed the chaos, like, subscribe, and share Zebec Global on X, Instagram, and anywhere else you want to share us. And if you're tuning into the Zebec Global podcast for the first time, welcome to the family. We don't really have a designated schedule for which day this episode will come out next week or any week in the future. It'll just be once a week. Stay loud, stay weird, and stay tuned in. Zebec Network is inevitable. Those who persevere conquer. Peace.
The Zebec Gazette, it's the Zebec Gazette. You heard what I said, it's the Zebec Gazette, it's the Zebec Gazette, it's the Zebec Gazette. You heard what I said, it's the Zebec Gazette.